So the first slide here is what is TRX? Bodyweight exercises that require the use of suspension training. Reason why it's different from traditional exercise is that there's a single ankle point and you're holding on to TRX. Okay, so your upper body here is suspended, as opposed to, let's say you're doing a row here. All right, if you're sitting down on a lat machine and you're doing rows, you're obviously seated, your core is not engaged, so that's how it switches up using TRX as opposed to actual weight training. Why use TRX? First and foremost, have any of you guys done your budget already for class? No? Some of you done your budget already? I will tell you this, the first thing that when I got my budget, we need a new stim machine. So I'm like, all right, there's no problem, get a stim machine. I had no idea $3,000 for a stim machine. All right, so if you want a cable crossover machine to do your rehab with, those are about $2 grand each. If you need a new table, it's like $500, $600. So if you're at a small school and you have a small budget, this will save you so much. These run about $189. If you go on Groupon now, I heard they're for like $109. I have a Force kid. I don't know how long that's going to last, but they run about $189. So for $189, you can get a total body exercise piece of equipment as opposed to spending $2 grand on a cable crossover machine. So once you get into your budgeting and stuff like that, you'll realize how important it is to get something that's cost effective. The effectiveness here, there's a study there you see on your slide. Lower limb injuries reduced by 39%. It talks about how it lowers the amount of ACL injuries. That was a big one, by 80%. The whole reason it does that is if you're suspended and using one leg, let's say one leg's in TRX, and you're doing a one-leg squat, now you have to stabilize your entire body, as opposed to doing barbell stuff or doing leg press machines. So if you have athletes and you're training them on the TRX, you will reduce the amount of injuries. Used in diverse environments, if anybody's been to Westfield at the field house, we actually have hooked up to the fence. So you can put them outside, you can put them around a tree, you can put them anywhere and use them. As you see, we have it here. This is the S-frame from TRX, but you can put them on the door, anywhere you can use it. So if you guys have a small rehab space, you can put TRX pretty much anywhere. And variety is a spice of life. All right, the reason why that's on there is because if anybody's worked with high school athletes, they get bored really quick. So good luck getting a high school athlete to do band retraction for an entire season. They'll get so bored. So the beauty of this is you can work with the bands one day. Let's say Monday, they come in Tuesday, use TRX, Wednesday, use weights, and you keep switching through that. Right? Instead of doing the same thing over and over and over again. The kids will get bored, they stop coming to rehab, and they get injured. Or if you're just doing ice and stim all the time, they can get bored too. Who's it for? Grandmas, young bucks like Chris, elite athletes, average Joes. So the reason why you can do it anybody, and we'll talk about this later with the different principles. If I have a grandma who wants to do squats, I can have her here, and she can basically just do squats holding on TRX. If I have an elite athlete, I can have him doing one leg and like hop, or he do a jump squat out here. All right, so anybody who you're working with can use the TRX. So if you're in a clinical setting and you're a PT place, you have old lady come in. I'm not picking on old ladies, you can have old guys, doesn't matter who it is, but they can use the TRX. You have the same station, you can have Drew Brees come and use it. If anybody's ever seen Todd Durkin train, he uses the TRX with Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, LT, a bunch of different guys. So in that same piece of equipment, you can train an elite athlete and someone's grandma or the weekend warrior or something like that. The beauty of that is you don't have to set up a ton of weights or have a bunch of different machines. You can have one station and everyone can train on it. How to use the TRX. We'll have Janelle come up. She'll be on volunteer for today of how to use the TRX. There's 6 body positions for the TRX. So when we get into the end of this discussion, we'll be doing case study work and everything. You can do that side, that'll be better. So the first body position is stand facing. All these body positions are relative to the anchor point. So this is the anchor point. Obviously there's the anchor point for her. So the SF there, you're gonna write down stand facing on your paper. Stand facing away from the anchor point. So you turn your face to the opposite side of the anchor point. SSW is sideways standing. Now some people would wonder why you're going to stand that way. Obviously the body works in all 3 planes of motion. If you do like hip drops on there, they look really easy. Trust me, hip drops are not easy on the TRX. GSW, that's ground sideways. So if you're doing a side plank and your feet are on the TRX. GFA is ground facing away. So if you're doing push-ups in it, you're putting your feet in, and you do a push-up, you're suspending your body and pushing up in it. Okay, so you're facing away. The next one is ground facing that you actually ground facing towards the anchor point. So your heels are in, this is all your hip presses, your hamstring exercise, your posterior chain stuff. You'll be on the ground facing the anchor point. Adjusting the length of the TRX. Really simple. You have these tabs here. You're going to push down and pull to make it long. All right, for different exercises, you want it to be at the long length, or shorten it. You push down. I feel like an airplane person.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You grab here and pull.
And pull.
And pull. In case of
Put together,
emergency.
release.
The other thing is single handle mode. There's another position. These are the older TRXs. As you can see, this loop is not in those TRXs. All right, this loop is made so if you put in single handle mode, all you have to do is pull, and now you can use one handle freely. All right, so if you're doing a one-arm row or something here, you can just have it without putting single handle mode. In the older ones, these with saw, you have to put it through once, as you see. Put it through a second time and pull on it, make sure it's tight. Definitely make sure it's tight, because I've had clients and people put in single handle mode and they'll just like and just fall because they didn't put it on the right way.
Or grab the right one.
Yeah, make sure you put it on twice, because I don't want anybody falling here and getting injured. I hear rumors about student events and people getting hurt.